Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we now open the floor for public comments on agenda items. Do we have any public comments this evening on agenda items? If you are watching the meeting virtually, please feel free to type those into the chat box and we will read them into the meeting for you. I don't see any. No. Okay. There being no public comments, we move on to presentations.
Okay, we have one presentation this evening, and as you all know, one of our priorities, our district priorities, has always been excellence in communications. And Mr. Hansen and his team have done an excellent job of keeping us informed and updated, but have made some new updates to our website and some information that you can get, some new data. So we wanted to share that with you so you knew if there's questions that you have or some of the new features. We wanted to just make sure that you know that we're staying updated and giving you relevant information. So I'm going to hand the floor over to Mr. Hansen.
It's going to share a lot of new updates that we have at District 76 when it comes to communications. To jump ahead right into it, the first, and if you look at the slide deck, whether if you're watching from home or in person here, we notice that all of our resources, we always share with our families to go to our parent and community section, which gives you a great dashboard of all the fantastic resources that are available instead of trying to search the web. It's great to have one exact area for all these wonderful resources for our families. When you visit the parent and community dashboard, the link off our home site, you'll see our parent university website, which will look similar like this. On the website, we have dedicated parent learning night event information, live links and recorded. So after any live events that do happen, we record it and we place it right in there almost immediately to make sure that our families have access to it. So if you're attending virtually synchronously or asynchronously, you have access to those throughout the course of the entire year, and we'll keep it going. So it's a great authentic resource. Additionally, any resources through any presentations that we'll have it linked on the parents university website. Pardon me. And just to give a live view, just to make sure that everybody is aware of where this information is, you'll see the parent university page here. And like this, you'll see our upcoming event that's going to be happening October 20th. We have 2 links. It's going to be done in English and Spanish. The previous one we did, which was a technology learning night, and then all the upcoming ones we see per month. We'll be adding dates specifically to this as we continue to add the exact dates just to make sure our families are informed in those dates. And we'll be communicating out on a regular basis through School Messenger to let everybody know what's available and when. Pardon me, let me go back to full screen. An additional update that we've had, and we've had utilized this every year, is our strategic plan. The one that was voted on at a last board meeting. We created a strategic plan snapshot, made it very easy to see all the priorities, our goals, and resources that are surrounding our vision statement, portrait of a graduate, our priorities and goals and action plan. As I mentioned before, this information is available on our website, and we always point to our parents and community website just so that everybody webpage, so everybody could see the scrollable PDF, and the PDF is done in English and in Spanish. So as a live view for everybody just to see. So I make sure I don't click on anything wrong. You will see our vision statement, our portrait of a graduate information that is existing, all the updated priorities and goals specifically for this school year. And of course, everything we do is in English and Spanish. So we have a second page that has the exact information just in Spanish.
Presenting, so I don't take up any time after the presentation, because I know we're timing this, but we always get really positive feedback about just the way our snapshot looks, whether we're interviewing, candidates for positions, or whether community members come in, or even just colleagues of mine or colleagues of the DLTs, they'll say like, we've seen your strategic snapshot on your webpage and it looks amazing. And I think a few of you, as you were interviewing for the board position, also had mentioned that. So I think this is a really nice feature that Mr. Hansen has put together, because it gives it all on one page of all the comprehensive work that we're doing. Sorry.
Thank you. And even though it's on the parent and community webpage, it's also on the Board of Education page as well, as that's our priorities for the year. Another update that we've implemented this school year is our COVID dashboard. This has been communicated through our school messenger as well, just to let all of our families know that we maintain a dashboard of all the COVID metrics that are happening through our boundary and also Lake County, and anything and to transparently share what those rates are, and as well as any sort of cases that may have happened over the course of the week. We continue to ensure that communication is delivered via school messenger, so all families are well aware. But additionally, it's nice to have a metric dashboard that gives guidance and understanding of, what are the incident rates for the boundary, what the incidence rates for the county. And actually, by even clicking on this, you'll notice when we go back to it, the rates have actually lowered, which is great. I kind of get a nice update every Friday when I update this, that it's actually in a positive, which is great. But additionally, we continue to do this every Friday just to make sure that everybody could check it every Friday to see where we are at. So all this is driven from IDPH. The information is right from their website. We just update it to make it very specific for our families and our community. So, when I click on, as I mentioned, in our parent and community page, there's the COVID dashboard. And then by clicking on this, you'll see that exact same information. Things have been updated since last time I uploaded this presentation. So our information has changed, in my opinion, drastically in the positive, because they've been lowering the incident rates as well as the positivity rate. So hopefully they keep that up. Additionally, we keep our quarantine guidelines that are here as well. That's driven from Lake County. So that's also on the homepage as well. So if people are want to know what the quarantine guidelines are, it is also available on here as well. So we don't have to search the internet to find that information. Okay. And then last but not least, during last month's department update, and I'll continue doing this every month, is provide a pretty in-depth metrics for our communications that delivers based off of our school messenger communications, our social media communications, our website information. So you want to know the top 10 web pages that people are accessing, you'll get that information as well as our parent university. As people are attending the parent university, we will track that information because that's part of our goals and excellence communications. We want to make sure that you see that on a regular basis, just to be up to date month by month. I'm just clicking the link because it is relatively in depth here. You would see our school messenger. Actually, since I did this August and September, just to kind of, it's gonna be monthly moving forward, but I put them both together and you see that we've had 95 campaigns, and that's just from the district alone, not just from the schools. So 95 campaigns that we've had, several emails, several texts, and I'll continue to share that on a monthly basis. We have our District 76 at a glance. When you go to our homepage, that's like almost our electronic calendar that shares all the necessary information as well. So I provided those metrics as well. That kind of gives you a good understanding of, how many people are visiting, who are new that are visiting that website, as well as, and then I added session feedback was 100% positive. The last one that I did, I'm not patting myself on the back. That's just the information that was there. Hopefully we continue that with our next one as well. In addition as well with our communication, when I remember sharing this in the past previous board meeting, well, a lot of people want to know what are the major websites and pages that our families, our community, or the public audience visits. So right now our district homepage is number one, of course, but as well as it lists down by each building, our meals program, our parents and community, our transportation, staff directory, registrations, our top 10 pages. That might stay consistent, but it all depends on what information is being presented and where people are drawn to. We always want to make sure that I'm collecting information, and also it collects information through Google Analytics of what language it's being selected. So it actually gives you a good understanding of this month metrics of what language. I filtered out a lot of other ones that are like 0.00001, and I kept to the most common ones, which are English and Spanish. And as well as I always want to make sure that we communicate not only through School Messenger, not only our website, and several different means, but social media has been very beneficial as well for our families because you want information to come to you organically sometimes. And a lot of times you're not expecting that information. And when it does, it's very, very much welcomed. So we always make sure you utilize the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then we kind of give you a go over understanding of our followers per media platforms that continues to grow every year and every month. So we'd like to see that positive growth rate and people to be connected via social so that they can get information additionally, not only from School Messenger or website, but also social media as well. All right. Oh, pardon me. Clicked on link again. And with that, I have questions and feedback.
Just wanted to say, I think the addition of the COVID dashboard is really nice information to have. It's really easy to read. It's nice to have that quarantine guidance. And I've heard from a lot of parents that have really liked that information. So thank you for adding that.
Absolutely.
Just to piggyback on what Joyce said, the COVID dashboard, I've actually looked at a few other district websites and have not seen that. So it's really just an added benefit to have it. And like she said, I think people are really looking for it because I was looking for it on other websites and didn't see it. So thank you for including it and for making it a priority because I think right now it really is one on top of all the other great pieces of information that people have at their fingertips. I think once people start to kind of play around with the website, they'll just see what a wealth of information it really has. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. And I hope to obtain those metrics to share it in the next month department update with everybody so that, you'll see that maybe a different page will be on the top 10. But that COVID dashboard, it's nice to see an update every Friday. I'm a knock on wood because, ever since we started doing this, I noticed the rate going down a little bit. So that's always a huge positive, but I'm a knock on wood a bunch of times to that.
Okay, great. Does anyone have any other questions or comments for Mr. Hansen? No. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes our presentations for this evening. Moving on to the business agenda, we have 2 items. The first item is the omnibus vote agenda, and that is just for a review this evening and will be voted on at our next meeting. The personnel item is the one item that is up for action. So be it resolved that the Diamond Lake 76 Board of Education accepts and approves the personnel items as depicted on the agenda. We have 1 new hire and 1 leave of absence. May I have a motion to approve, please?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, then that motion passes. I don't think we have any items for board discussion. The only thing I wanted to put on everyone's radar again is that we're still waiting for those IASB resolutions. So I expect that we should have those for our next meeting to be able to discuss them, but we haven't received the text of them, have we? Mm-mm. I know some of them are out like emails and we've seen things, but I don't have all of them yet from IASB. So as soon as we get that, then we will have our discussion. Moving on to freedom of information requests, we have none. For notices of communications, we just have our board meeting calendar as usual. And again, I just ask if you know in advance of a date that you're not going to be able to attend, if you could please email me, Bhavna, and Lisa, just so we can get that down and make sure that we have quorum for those evenings. Okay, and then moving on to public comments and petitions on non-agenda items. Do we have any public comments or petitions on non-agenda items this evening? Again, if you're joining us virtually, you can type those into the chat box and we will read them into the meeting. Do we even have any attendees?
don't see any.
I can't read that number.
Is there any attendees, Mr. Hanson? Four.
Okay. Okay, there being no public comments, we move on to others. Does anyone have any others this evening? Okay, then we will move to adjourn. Could I get a motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, thank you for joining us. Have a good night.